On August 21, 2025, Pakistan's Supreme Court granted bail to former Prime Minister Imran Khan in several high-profile cases tied to the unrest that erupted on May 9, 2023. This decision came after months of legal wrangling and intense public scrutiny as the nation watched the fate of its former leader hang in the balance. This marks a pivotal moment in Khan's ongoing legal saga, a story that has captured the attention of millions both within Pakistan and across the globe. News of the Supreme Court's ruling spread rapidly, dominating headlines and sparking heated debates about justice, politics, and the future of democracy in the country. Once celebrated as a cricket legend who led Pakistan to World Cup victory, and later as a reformist prime minister promising a new era, Khan's journey has been nothing short of dramatic. He was ousted from office in 2022 through a parliamentary vote of no confidence, and by August 2023, he found himself behind bars, facing a barrage of legal challenges that threatened to end his political career. The Supreme Court's decision to grant bail is a rare legal victory for Khan, offering a glimmer of hope to his supporters. However, it's important to note that this ruling does not guarantee his immediate release, as other cases and charges still loom over him. For over a year, Khan has remained incarcerated, separated from his family and his party, while his political movement PTI has faced relentless government pressure, arrests and restrictions on its activities. The charges against him are wide-ranging, from corruption and abuse of power to inciting violence during the May 9th protests. His supporters argue these cases are politically motivated attempts to sideline him, while his critics insist that the law must take its course and that no one is above accountability. The May 9th protests, which saw widespread unrest and a harsh crackdown on PTI members, are central to many of the charges Khan faces. The events of that day have left a lasting impact on Pakistan's political landscape, deepening divisions and fueling further instability. Khan's legal team has fought tirelessly, navigating a complex web of lower court hearings and appeals before finally securing this crucial bail from the country's highest court. Their efforts have been closely watched by legal experts and the public alike. While this verdict is undoubtedly a boost for Khan and his movement, it represents just one chapter in a much larger and ongoing political and legal battle. The struggle for power and justice in Pakistan is far from over. The story of Imran Khan is deeply entwined with Pakistan's turbulent politics, marked by shifting alliances, street protests, and courtroom drama. This latest court ruling is just the newest twist in a saga that continues to shape the nation's future. In the coming days, all eyes will remain on the courts, the government and the streets as Pakistan grapples with the implications of this decision. Let's break down what this means for Imran Khan, his party, and the country at large. To truly grasp the significance of today's court decision, we need to look back at a day that changed the course of Pakistan's history. That day was May 9, 2023, a date now etched into the nation's collective memory. On that fateful day, Imran Khan, the former prime minister and leader of the PTI party, was dramatically arrested at the Islamabad High Court, sending shockwaves across the country. Almost immediately, protests erupted in cities nationwide, some peaceful, but many spiraling into violence and chaos. For the first time in Pakistan's history, military sites in Rawalpindi and Lahore came under attack, leaving the nation stunned and deeply unsettled. The government responded swiftly and forcefully, launching a sweeping crackdown to restore order and assert control. Thousands of PTI supporters and party leaders were rounded up, detained, and in many cases held without bail. Imran Khan himself was accused of masterminding the unrest, with authorities pointing to his speeches and public statements as evidence. 8 separate cases were filed against him, each alleging that he orchestrated the violence and chaos that gripped the country. Prosecutors argue that Khan incited his followers to attack state institutions, framing it as part of a larger conspiracy to destabilize the government. PTI leaders, however, maintain that the protests were a spontaneous outpouring of public anger, insisting that Khan never called for violence or unrest. They argue that the government's harsh crackdown was less about restoring order and more about crushing PTI as a political force ahead of upcoming elections. This deep and bitter disagreement over what really happened on May 9th lies at the very heart of Pakistan's ongoing political crisis, fueling division and mistrust. The fallout from that day set the stage for Imran Khan's long and complex legal battle, culminating in the Supreme Court's recent highly anticipated decision. Today, Pakistan remains deeply divided, debating not just who is responsible but also what true justice and democracy should look like in the country's future. The Supreme Court hearing on August 21, 2025, marked a pivotal moment for Khan's legal team, drawing national and international attention. The stakes were high, with the outcome likely to influence not just Khan's fate, but also the broader political climate in Pakistan. Presiding over the case, Chief Justice Yahya Afridi and his bench raised a fundamental question. Could bail be denied to Khan when several co-accused had already been granted it? This line of inquiry signaled the court's willingness to scrutinize the prosecution's approach. Khan's lawyer, Salman Safdar, forcefully argued that there was no direct evidence tying Khan to the violence. He emphasized that Khan had been in jail at the time, making it impossible for him to control or direct the crowd's actions. The prosecution, however, maintained that Khan's public speeches and statements had incited the riots, and that his influence extended far beyond the prison walls. They warned that releasing him could endanger public order, potentially leading to further unrest or emboldening his supporters. The judges pressed the prosecution on the principle of consistency, questioning why others had been granted bail while Khan remained behind bars. They also examined the strength of the evidence, probing whether the prosecution's case was truly as solid as claimed. Chief Justice Afridi reminded all present that bail hearings are not trials, and that the court's role is to assess whether continued detention is justified, not to determine guilt or innocence at this stage. He stressed the importance of upholding the presumption of innocence, a cornerstone of justice, especially in politically charged cases. The defense highlighted Khan's year-long detention, arguing that such prolonged incarceration without conviction was both unfair and unnecessary. They insisted that Khan had no ability to influence ongoing events from his cell, and that his continued imprisonment served no legitimate purpose. The court made it clear that its observations during the hearing were preliminary, intended only for the purposes of the bail application. These remarks, the judges emphasized, would not prejudice the outcome of the eventual trial, which would be decided on its own merits. As the hearing concluded, anticipation grew. The stage was set for a crucial verdict that could reshape the legal and political landscape. The Supreme Court granted Imran Khan bail in all 8 May 9 cases, overturning lower court denials. The court's decision rested on legal fairness. Since others had been granted bail, Khan deserved the same. The judges found the prosecution's evidence insufficient to justify indefinite detention at this stage. However, Khan's release was conditional. He could only walk free if not wanted in other cases. This ruling removed a major legal barrier but didn't guarantee his immediate freedom. The verdict reaffirmed the principle that pre-trial detention should not be punitive. Yet, with multiple cases pending, Khan's legal journey is far from over. The focus now shifts to the other charges keeping him behind bars. Outside the Supreme Court, relief and cautious optimism filled the air. Aleema Khan, Imran's sister, thanked the judiciary and called the verdict a step toward justice, reiterating her brother's innocence. She urged PTI supporters to remain resilient and peaceful in their struggle for democracy. Khan's lawyers hailed the decision as a breakthrough, emphasizing the court's commitment to fairness and the presumption of innocence. They argued the verdict exposed the weakness of the prosecution's case and was a win for Pakistan's legal system. The legal team acknowledged the challenges ahead, noting that Khan's release was not immediate. They pledged to keep fighting the remaining cases with determination. For Khan's supporters, the verdict was a crucial first step toward his eventual release and political return. Despite the Supreme Court's bail order, Imran Khan remains in Adiala jail. The reason he's serving a sentence in the Toshakhana corruption case, convicted in August 2023 for allegedly selling state gifts. Until that conviction is overturned on appeal, Khan cannot be released. This highlights the complex legal maze he faces, with dozens of cases filed against him. Even a win in one case doesn't guarantee freedom. New charges or convictions can keep him detained. The Toshakhana case is just one of many, including allegations of corruption, terrorism, and more. Khan's legal team must fight each case individually, a slow and difficult process. The Supreme Court's verdict is a symbolic victory, but practical freedom remains elusive. The next battle overturning the Toshakhana conviction and clearing the path for Khan's release. Imran Khan's legal troubles are inseparable from Pakistan's fierce political conflict. Khan and PTI claim his ouster and imprisonment are part of a campaign of political victimization orchestrated by the military and government. They argue the flood of cases is meant to sideline him as his popularity grows. The government and military deny these claims, insisting Khan must answer for his actions and that the courts are independent. This clash of narratives has polarized the nation. Khan is seen as either a hero challenging the system or a destabilizing force. The perception of victimization fuels his supporters and keeps PTI relevant, even with Khan in jail. The Supreme Court's bail decision is seen by many as a rare crack in the wall of political pressure. The Supreme Court's bail decision is a milestone, but Khan's future remains uncertain. His legal team now focuses on appealing the Toshakana conviction and fighting dozens of other cases. PTI, meanwhile, struggles under state pressure, with many leaders jailed or in hiding. The party's organizational strength is tested without Khan at the helm. The broader context is grim. Pakistan faces economic woes, political instability, and deep societal divisions. The judiciary's handling of Khan's cases is seen as a test of its independence. While the court has opened a door for Khan, the path ahead is fraught with legal and political obstacles. Will he return to lead PTI, or remain a political prisoner and symbol? The answers will shape Pakistan's political future. For now, the nation waits and watches.